So, the National Day of Mourning, some historical background. This began in 1970 as a form of protest to the 350th anniversary, which was celebrating the Pilgrims arriving in present day Massachusetts. Um, the this was organized, this celebration, to celebrate the glorified and false narrative of the Wampanoag and Pilgrim relations in the 1620s. So, people who organized this approached Wamasuda Frank James, a Wampanoag man, to give a speech of appreciation for these relations, hoping that he would essentially fulfill this false narrative. So James wrote a speech, but the organizers wanted to review it. And as they reviewed it before the celebration occurred, they censored him. They said, "This is not acceptable." So we call this the suppressed speech of Wamasuda Frank James. And you can look this up. It's all over, the internet if you want to. I can also put it in the chat box for you. But it was censored again, like I said, because it did not go along with this mythological story. So James, rightfully so, declined to deliver the scripted speech that these organizers wanted him to give. And instead, he delivered this speech at the first National Day of Mourning in, again, 1970. And since then, as you've seen in the more recent video clip, that this National Day of Mourning is still taking place on the fourth Thursday in November, aka the same day as Thanksgiving. So, as we start to wrap up, I just want you to think about and meditate on this quote. And it says, "Unquestioning acceptance of biased interpretations can affect the way we treat one another, even today." So, I challenge you throughout your education, just throughout life, to question, where does the story come from? Is it one-sided? And if it is, who is the story being told by? Who is it made to support? Right? So, looking, for instance, at the story of Thanksgiving, have we ever questioned it? And why haven't we questioned it? Right? There's two sides to every story. So, I just want you to keep that in the back of your mind, not only for today, but again, throughout the rest of your life. Right? And to conclude, finally, yes, I'm giving you an exit ticket. And this is actually going to be on a Google form shared by your facilitators who presented today. I just want you to choose one to think about. Okay. So, option one, why might some people decide to celebrate Umoja Karamu instead of Thanksgiving? Provide three reasons. Or two, knowing what you know about the history of Thanksgiving, would you still celebrate it? Explain why or why not. Or three, how will you educate your family of the Umoja Karamu and the historical origins of Thanksgiving? So, some things to ponder as we continue our study on, for specifically my class, our story. And always remember to be critical thinkers and critical questioners of information. I love you all, and I hope you have a safe, healthy, wonderful break. And I will see you next Monday.